Weapon mods that are inspired by other games are always very popular. If there is an iconic sword in another game, chances are someone has made a version for Skyrim. And today I want to take a closer look at one of those mods. So this is Lorkhan Moonlight Greatsword Reborn. As you might guess from the name, this mod adds the very popular and iconic Moonlight Greatsword, probably best known from Dark Souls, into Skyrim. But it doesn't add just one, it adds 5 different versions into your game. As far as I know, this mod covers every occurrence of the Moonlight Greatsword in the From Software games, starting with Demon Souls, with the exception of Dark Souls 3. So let's start off with the Demon Souls one. This one is probably the least detailed because it is from the first Souls game, but it does have the only translucent blade in the collection. And the textures on the blade are even animated. What more could you want? Next, onto the Dark Souls one. This one is a lot brighter than Demon Souls one, but has no transparency on it. Instead, it has some nice looking etchings on the blade and a gold hilt. The Dark Souls 2 style looks very similar to the Dark Souls 1 style, but has some additional gold from the hilt extending about halfway up the blade. It still has the nice etchings, although much smaller and only in the center of the blade. And last but not least, the Blood-Borne Versions. Yes, there are actually 2 different versions because the weapon has a transformed and untransformed state. Unfortunately, I don't think you can really have weapons that change forms in Skyrim, so it's split into 2 separate weapons instead. The untransformed version basically looks like a regular greatsword, although it has some cloth wrapped around it and sports some fine small etchings. The transformed one, however, once again has the bright blue blade the Moonlight Greatsword is known for. The blade has a very rounded shape and the designs on it are clearly visible here in contrast to the previous versions. As far as damage goes, all swords are identical. They all have the same enchantment and the exact same stats. Speaking of enchantments, this one is actually fairly unique. The damage on the sword will scale with your alteration skill, and fighting at night will also give the sword some bonus damage. Oh, and just in case you've been wondering, no, the blades do not actually emit any light. And they can't actually do any of their special attacks. They do have a nice blue on-hit effect on enemies though. To obtain the swords, just head into Eldergleam Sanctuary and you will find them embedded in stone. They are pretty easy to find because most of them stand out just a tiny bit with their bright blue color. And that's it for today. As always, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.